Okay, we're going to talk about connecting ideas in English. It's very important to have good techniques for connecting your ideas. If you have a lot of short sentences in English that do not show the connections between them, it isn't considered to be good writing. You need different styles, different structures of sentences in your writing, and you want to show these ideas and how they're connected. So let's take a look at two sentences here. I ate too much. I feel sick. You might think there's a connection here, but I'm not showing it to you. There's a common problem people make when they think that they can connect these ideas simply with a comma, like this. However, it doesn't work. It's not good in English. You cannot connect independent clauses with a comma in English. So what are you going to do? How do you connect these ideas or show connection? I'm going to talk about 4 ways today. The first is that you can use punctuation. You just can't use a comma. What you want to use is a semicolon. So, this is the first way that you could connect your ideas. It shows that there is a connection between these ideas. It doesn't tell you what the connection is, but it tells you that they are connected. Okay, so that's the first thing you can do is punctuation. The second thing you could do to connect ideas is to use a coordinating conjunction. The coordinating conjunctions in English: and, but, or, so, for, nor, and yet. The most common ones, of course, that we use are these right here. When you want to connect two ideas with a coordinating conjunction, you need to decide, are you simply connecting the ideas and not showing what kind of a connection it is? Are you showing contrasting ideas? Are you showing two options or choices? Are you showing a result? Here, this is a result of this. We want to use so. Okay. A coordinating conjunction needs to come between the ideas, and you usually put a comma before it. Sometimes using and, but, possibly or. Sometimes if the subject is the same, you can take out the second subject and take out the comma. But it does not work with so. It doesn't work with so. So let me give you an example with but. You said, I ate too much, but don't feel sick, showing the contrast. Same subject, so I take it out in the second one, and I don't use the comma. Again, use that for and but most commonly. The third way that we can connect our ideas is with a transition. Transition is a special category of words in English. Words like however, nevertheless, as a result. You've got a pretty good sized number of these words. They're used very commonly in writing, especially academic writing. They're not used as much in speaking. Sometimes, but not as much. a transition word that would show the contrast between these two ideas. We have a couple of choices. You could use as a result to show cause and effect. You could use consequently. You could use therefore. These are all transition words. So, I ate too much. Semicolon. Therefore, comma. I feel sick. Using a transition word to connect ideas is great, but you need to remember that you have to separate the two ideas as if they are separate sentences. You can use a semicolon, or you can use a period, capital letter. So, semicolon or period to separate the two different ideas, and a comma to separate the transition from the clause. So 2 points of punctuation you need to include if you use a transition. And the fourth would be a subordinating conjunction. This is quite different from a coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions put two ideas together, but both ideas are equal in value in the sentence. When you use a subordinating conjunction, you are creating two different levels in the sentence. You need to have an independent clause in every sentence, but a subordinating conjunction creates a dependent clause. Let me write this down here. Creates a dependent clause. These are words like because, while, after. There's many, and they're used to create a dependent clause that connects to an independent clause. What you want to remember is that an independent clause is like a parent, dependent clause is like a child. The parent is okay to be on his or her own, usually, but the child should not be left alone. The child needs to be with a parent. A dependent clause cannot be by itself. It needs to be with an independent clause. Here, I can say, what's my main idea here? Maybe my main idea is that I feel sick, and this is the subordinating idea. I'm going to use because to show cause and result. Because I ate too much, comma, I feel sick. The punctuation for subordinating conjunctions is that if the subordinating conjunction comes first, if the dependent clause is first, then you need a comma. Dependent clause first, you need a comma. Then here's the independent clause. If you change these to the other way around, you say, I feel sick first. So the independent is first and the dependent is second. Then you do not use a comma. And how do you know if a word is a coordinating conjunction, a transition, or a subordinating conjunction? Well, the coordinating conjunctions are pretty easy. It's just those 7 you have to remember. For transitions and subordinating conjunctions, you really just need to memorize them, study them, find out which words are which kind, so that you know that therefore is a transition word and because is a subordinating conjunction. If you can learn which words are what category, then you know how to work the punctuation and the structure. The meaning is something different altogether. There are many words with all kinds of different little meanings, and becoming a good writer means learning how to use those correctly. But as far as this basic structure goes, these are the things you can remember to connect ideas. You can do it with punctuation, semicolon, with coordinating conjunctions, with transitions, or with subordinating conjunctions.